Hmm. All right. Hello, 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 my beautiful people. Oh, no, let's do that. Hey, 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 hey. All right. We'll put this in here and spar this here. All right. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you are well on this Venus day. So, you know what it is. You know what it is. All right. So, welcome to Radiant Reality, a place of learning astrology, tarot, numerology, and energy work. I say a place of learning. It's not that I'm teaching those things, but those are the things that I use. I am Raphael, and I am Radiant Reality after all. For those of you that are new to my channel, I use astrology, tarot, numerology, and energy work to bring you these insights every week. And Venus is Friday, or should I say Friday is Venus Day. So this is effectively Venus vibes, right? That's what we're here to talk about. So I will share my chart at some point. If you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you are one of my treasured members, you know Rafi loves you even more. So thank you so much for being here. The Taurus Garden is one of my members. Buenos dias. Chica, I hope you are okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you are all okay. A couple of announcements on the eclipse on the 2nd of October. I've got something really juicy that I'm bringing you that I think you're going to love. It's a collaboration, and I think it's something that you are absolutely going to go head over heels for. So stick around and look out for that. And as you know, I like to know that you're here. I love that you engage with the channel and especially on these because it lets YouTube know that you guys want to see more of what I'm doing. So if you could, and if you are here right now, let me see some hearts for Venus Day. Roll through the comments. I want to see those hearts of all colors, all shapes and sizes, as they say. All right, let me see it. Let me see your hearts, baby. So, yes. So while you guys are getting to that, the purpose of this video, right, is always to, so on a Friday, what we're going to do, we're going to look at the transit of Venus over the coming week. I can see some of you dropping them hearts. Thank you so much. Let's see them in the comments. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Thank you so much, Hippie Chick, one of my amazing members. Lovely to have you, E. Hope you're okay. So yes, we're here to talk about Venus. We're going to talk about love. We're going to be talking about harmony. We're going to be talking about creativity. All right. So the teaser, should I say, we're exploring Venus's sojourn through the current sign of Scorpio. So this is a pretty big deal for a few reasons, right? So whenever I'm talking, before we get into it, I just want to say whenever I'm talking about astrology, remember I'm using whole sign, tropical Western astrology for those of you that would like to know. Also, whenever we're talking about Venus, hey Laurel, lovely to have you, my Aquarian sister. Excuse me, whenever we're talking about Venus, we are talking about love, harmony, beauty, creativity, but Venus is so much more than those things. She's also the energy of diplomacy. This is the energy of blending and bringing things or people together. Venus is a sweetening energy, so it makes us more attractive to others or others more attracted to the things that we are doing or putting out into the world. Venus is an attracting energy, right? It's the energy of glamour and beauty. It's hairdressers and beauty and makeup artists, but it's also musicians, right? It's also singers and artists. Venus rules talents, the things that we shine for or with, right? So, as an example, yes, the sun or the Leo part of our chart is where we're meant to shine. But when you think about Venus in the sky, the goddess of love, she's a very bright star in the night sky, right? And for that reason, well, that was one of the reasons, she has this affinity to the things that help us shine, right? So when you listen to like your favorite singer because you love their voice, you get enamored by that person, right? You get swept up in the rapture of who that person is because you can feel that talent emanating out of them. If you are artistically inclined, when you see somebody draw or when you see your favorite painting and all of those kinds of things, all of that kind of energy. Now, whether this is music, whether it's art, whether it's dance, all of those things, right? Venus is very much that principle that brings our talents and like our, not even so much our skills. Mercury is more our skills, but certainly our talents, the things that we're good at, the things that really enable us to shine out there in the world. That is very much Venusian energy, right? How people receive us and our personal beauty and the sphere of beauty in general is all Venus stuff. Um, Monday 27, happy damn birthday to you. Happy damn Venus Day to you as well. I really hope you have a wonderful solar return. Remember to fill the day of your birthday with a little bit of everything that you want this whole entire year to have in it for you. So keep that in mind. And the fact that you're spending a little bit of your birthday with yours truly, I've sent you lots of love and lots of heart. That makes me really, really happy. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So Venus. But where is Venus at this moment in time? Venus is currently in the deep and the dark and the taboo loving sign of Scorpio, right? And what this means is she takes on a new depth. She takes on a greater depth of feeling and a greater depth of desire. Remember, she's one away from her natural home in Libra, and she's right the way opposite the sky from her other home or domicile of Taurus. So here, technically, Venus is in detriment, right? She's not necessarily in a place where she feels totally comfortable. However, Venus is a sweetening influence. So she brings that beauty, that pleasure, that harmony, that intrinsic value to whatever she's touching. And that means that this really allows the qualities of Scorpio or the scorpionic energies and their higher ideals to really shine through. Right now, Venus in this sign of detriment in Scorpio, it's not like it's not so much that she doesn't act right, it's more that it's a very deep energy, right? It's surface level anything when Venus is in Scorpio is just not going to cut it, right? True feeling, true depth, true connection. Is all really what she's looking for. As I said last week, right? Venus in Scorpio is you are mine, and that is all there is to it. Venus in Scorpio is the dominatrix or the dominant, right? Venus in Scorpio is the bite on the neck or the scratch on the back. Venus in Scorpio is concerned with security around money and resources. It may even be a little bit secretive around resources as well. Venus in Aries, Heidi says. Nice. I've got Venus in Aries, conjunct Mars at 0 and 1 degree of Aries. I'm not even going to tell you what house placement it is. Um, But it's a beautiful Venus because it helps you see that actually maybe the things that aren't necessarily conventional, maybe the things that are, this is finding the beauty in the macabre. It's finding the pleasure in the gritty spaces of life, right? As I said last week, this is Venus with a little bit of stank on it, all right? Like, which is not necessarily a bad thing. The other thing that you want to consider with Venus moving through the sign of Scorpio, Scorpio is deep, it's silent, it's deadly, it's rather concerned with holding an emotional state in place, right? Scorpio is a fixed water sign, which is what is fixed water? Fixed water is it's ice, right? So it can be a very loyal sign and it expects the deepest of loyalty in return, right? Scorpio is a very dedicated energy. It's also fixed and therefore a very powerful energy. This is the power of ice. It's also the power that's concerned with wealth, money, finances, resources, usually bigger wealth or hidden wealth at least. Scorpio energy is oil, right? And minerals underground. It's all of those kinds of things. So, if you are, how are you guys experiencing? Because Venus has been in Scorpio for a little minute now, not a great deal of time, but how are you actually feeling? In fact, tell me right now in the comments, in the chat, where is Venus currently in your chart? So if you know that Venus is in Scorpio, where is Venus currently moving through the sky in your personal chart right now? So for me personally, Venus is currently moving through my fourth house. What about you guys? Yeah, I see you, Taurus Garden. I see you. So Laurel says this is the first house. All right, beautiful, right? So if you've got Venus moving through your first house right now, this could be a time where you're deciding to go through a little bit of a glow up. Maybe you're looking to change your appearance. It might even be that, in fact, if you've got Venus moving through your first house right now, the best thing that you can do is ask for something that you want, right? Especially if it needs some kind of interaction, some kind of diplomacy, some kind of harder or more challenging conversation. If there's something that you need to be persuasive about, this is really the time to do it. I mean, you might want to wait until after the eclipse that's coming, which I will be discussing shortly. Not to any great depth though, because you'll be getting that on the day. All right. So if you want those eclipse messages, make sure you stick around because on the 2nd of October, I got something juicy for you. You're absolutely going to love it. All right. So what else have we got? Who else have we got? We've got Heidi says this is in the eighth house. Wow. Okay. So that means you're an Aries ascendant. So if this is moving through your eighth house, this is other people's money, other people's resources. It's potential here that you could be getting a gift of some kind. Venus loves to give gifts. She loves gifts. She loves presents, money, diamonds, and jewels. She loves all of that stuff. So moving through the eighth house, it could be that. If you've got contractual negotiations going on around joint finances or resources, things can get a little bit easier. If you, so Mondai for your birthday, this is moving through your third house, your local environment and community. Again, if you've got any contracts or anything like that going through, this could be really, really nice time for you. If you've got things like interviews or anything set up for this week, that could be absolutely fantastic. So love that for you. If you've got siblings as well, this is a really nice time to connect with them because things go that much more smoothly. Hippie Chick says this is in your 12th house. 12th house is bed pleasures. So grab your partner and give them a bloody good smooch. The 12th house, though, is also spirituality. It's the hidden self. And so, because Venus is a sweetening and a cleanly, like a cleanliness kind of energy, if you've been having problems or challenges or issues in your, with your sleep pattern, maybe, or, with self-sabotaging tendencies, when Venus moves through that 12th, she can make those things easier for you to deal with or to work through. Good morning, Asleep by Nine. Hello, hello, hello. Um, Chinya. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I'm not. In the sixth house, right? So your physical health and vitality. This is a great time, especially with this, and you're going to see this with this grand water trine that's shaping up between Mars, Venus, and Saturn. This is a really great time to work on your physical health and vitality. It's a good time to set something into motion around that right now. Now, if you can wait until after the eclipse, I would, because remember, this is going to be a new moon, which means at the moment, Luna is growing smaller. Asleep by Nine says Venus in the 10th house. Very nice. That means you're an Aquarius rising. Ooh, hey. For your that Venus in the 10th, that's wonderful for your career, your social status. It's also a really good time for you to think about how you negotiate future contracts for the work that you do and what you might want in the future when it comes to your career. It's also potential that you could start really enjoying what's showing up for you as in any form of status that you carry, right? So really, really nice. Okay, so I'm giving you just a couple of examples of how this could be showing up in different charts. Obviously, I would need to see your whole chart to really dig into it and, see what houses it rules and all the rest of it. But this is just, just a little bit of a tidbit there. So when we get to, I'm going to chuck this up. Oh, no, not that. Not that. I'm going to chuck this up. Where is it? Can you guys see the chart? I'm putting it up now. So I'm going to share my chart. So remember, this is set for London. So if ever, don't just ignore the houses, right? You're not looking at that, but just let me know if you can see the chart. Can you see the chart today? All right, yes. Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. So this is Monday. All right, we're coming to Monday. I love that scene. Yeah, please. I love you, Mama. I love you so much. You remind me so much of like that really cool chick from the estate. Like, scene. Mm. Cindy, hey, lovely. Good to have you. Oh, oh, I need some water. Sorry, I just swallowed a giant globule of oregano oil, and that stuff is potent, boy. Ooh. Oh dear. Excuse me. Sorry, everybody. Okay, so my mouth is on fire. Oh my God. Yeah, maybe one drop would have been enough. So, right, you can see the chart on here. You can see Venus, which is in the sign of Scorpio. So again, ignore the house placements because unless you're in London, that's not really going to be relevant. I'm in the UK, so I always set it for here. As you can see, I'm using the whole system. So we're looking at Venus. As we come into Monday around noon, I will also be live at that point. We'll probably be doing the lunar stuff. But look at this, right? You've got conjunct the part of fortune. So that's really nice. Monday, we start the week with Venus conjunct the part of fortune. It could be a really nice day to check on your resources. It could also be a time to get really serious about the allocation of your resources. And as she's entering that trine, so you can see this now, right? Venus is at 8 degrees of Scorpio at this point, and you can see she's starting to enter the zone of that grand water trine with Mars in Cancer, Saturn in Pisces. This, I keep banging on about this grand water trine because I'm telling you now, it's such a wonderful energy to use. Like, I really don't want anyone to waste this. It's such an in like for me, I maybe other people and other astrologers would be like, Raf, why are you getting so excited about this? But it's because I personally have had incredible results for things that I've initiated, things that I've started, things that I've told my clients to move on with Mars trine Saturn, and you've got Venus in the mix as a benefic. Now, Mars is in its full in the sign of Cancer, Venus is in detriment. So these two are not necessarily in signs that they like to be in, and yet this is still a really powerful grand water trine that doesn't perfect for a while, right? So it's around for a good week. Um, better the mouth on fire than the other. Venus in Scorpio. What else are you going to talk about? We love a little innuendo. Um, oh my gosh, that has really made me chuckle. All right, so yes, it's she's now entering this trine with Mars and Saturn, right? It's going to be an energy that is around for a few more days, so use it as best you possibly can. Do consider that at this moment in time, Luna is in Virgo, but she's waning, right? This is a waning moon, so you might not necessarily want to use this to initiate anything, but using it to get rid of something is a perfect way to use that energy. All right, so that's Monday. As we come into Tuesday, you can see now Luna comes into a grand Earth trine, right? So you got the moon is going to pass right the end of Virgo. And we've got Pluto in Capricorn at 29, which is retrograde. We've got Uranus at 26 of Taurus, which is retrograde. So this is now setting up a grand Earth trine. So you can see that triangle there in blue. And then you can see the one between Venus at 10 of Scorpio, Mars at 15 of Cancer, and Saturn at 14 of Pisces, right? So that is, I mean, as a shape, it's the Star of David, right? We know that. But what we're looking at here is two grand trines in the sky, one in the water axis and one in the water signs and one in the earth signs. What happens when you put water and earth together? You get growth. Now, even though this is a waning moon, and it's two planets in one planet in detriment and one planet in its fall, and a lot of retrograde energy in there. I'm still taking this. Do not sleep on Tuesday, right? There's some good energy around in the air for that time. And one of the best ways that you could use this would be literally to use it to release things on a practical level, right? Donate old clothes, chuck out, tins that have been in the back of your cupboard for the last, 5 years that it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to use that can of peaches that's like literally been sat there looking at you every single time you open your cupboard. Right? This is a time to release things, and I would do so as such, especially because we're just before an eclipse, right? So that's on the first. Now, the other thing is, at this, yeah, this is what the oregano oil is for. I can feel myself getting sniffly and snotty, so I was like, you know what, just deal with it now. At the same time, Mars, Saturn, and Venus are in that grand water trine. This is a double energy, right? So use it, and especially because it's literally the day after this, it's a perfect time to clear out the house, Cindy. A really perfect time. One, because you're fulfilling what the sky is kind of saying, and two, because it's an eclipse in the sign of Libra, which is, Libra is ruled by Venus, but where is Venus? In the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is an energy of purging. It's an energy of release. It's an energy of getting rid of things. What does that have in common with Virgo? Well, Virgo is the elimination, right? So if Virgo rules the digestive system, Scorpio rules the colon. Are we seeing the process here, right? So this is a perfect time to clear out the house, Cindy. Like, absolutely, right? Quite very literally. Donate old unused clothes, absolutely. Get rid of clutter, remove stuff that you just don't need. At this point on Tuesday, Luna is balsamic at this point, right? So we are like in the dark of the moon. And it's truthfully speaking, Venus or Venus's home in Libra is what's being eclipsed. So the fact that she's already gone through the sign of Libra the month before, sweetening up the place, cleaning up the place, and saying, right, there's something about to be born in this space of my chart or in this space of our lives, right? Why? Because the sun is the masculine principle, the moon is the feminine principle. So as these two come together, mum and dad, let's say, celestial mum and dad, they're literally coming together here in order to procreate. So that's what a new moon is, right? Do you know what I'm finding really funny? It's like we're all making all of these jokes and innuendos around toilet flushing and all the rest of it and purging. And it's like, this is Venus in Scorpio stuff. Like, I'm seeing you guys in the comments. You guys, oh my gosh. Terrible, 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 terrible. All right. On Wednesday, as we come into this is eclipse season proper, right? So let's advance this by some hours so that we can get it exact, right? Bosh, look at that. Seeing these lot in the comments. Terrible, terrible. Yeah, look, see, right? Hippie Chick says cleaned out the pantry last week. So this is what I mean. Like all of these energies are starting to play out. So as we come into Wednesday, we have the new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Libra, right? That's a pretty big deal. Now, Venus is well and truly in that grand water trine at this point, right? It's she's really doing her thing with it. Now, this new moon and Mercury, you could say, are square to Mars at this point. So it's going to be, it's going to be a little bit intense, but at the same time, I feel like this is going to bring some good things our way, right? Now, on this day, we've got the new moon solar eclipse in Venus's sign, which means that this eclipse has a scorpionic flavor to it. And what's the highest ideal of the Scorpio energy? Transformation. This is a phoenix energy, right? This is where we rise again from the ashes in some way, shape, or form. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger and all of that stuff. Now, since she is the dispositor of the eclipse, there is a depth of power about Our Lady Venus at this time, and the new moon solar eclipse itself is on the south node, which means that this is a true rebirth kind of energy. And as I say, I've got something quite special for all of you on that day that I think you're absolutely going to love. So as we come into, where are we? Days, here we go. As we come into Thursday, she's not really doing much, right? Truth be told, let's take this back to 12, right? She's not really doing a great deal. She's just still really holding that grand trine to both Mars and Saturn. And this is why I say this grand water trine, it's around for a while. We've got a good while to be able to really use this energy in a very sort of productive kind of way, which is fantastic, right? Now, uh, she's just hanging out in the sign of Scorpio. I really like this for finding like it's a presence and a knowing of your own inner fortitude and emotional strength. And it will probably really be coming to the fore at this point. The difference is now, as we come into Thursday, look what we have. We've got a waxing lunar, right? So even though I would say probably wait until Friday itself before you really initiate anything, but from there on in, the energy is with you. You can start really pressing things forward, right? So if I take this forward to Friday, so on Friday, we see, because what's going to happen on Friday as we move further into the day, look at this. Who is going to join our fair Luna? Our fair Luna, should I say, is going to join our fair Venus in the sign of Scorpio, right? So Luna is actually in her fall in Scorpio, and Venus is in her detriment in Scorpio. So I'm calling this like the bitter old queens hangout. And I got a story to tell you about this. So, when I was younger, I make no bones about this. Everybody that knows me knows I always say, like, I was a very, I was feral, right? Look, I'm just going to put it that way. So, I sneak out to London with my friends. I'm not even going to tell you what age I was. And on the train, we're all memorizing our date of birth so that, if we get asked for ID or whatever, we can just roll it off the tongue casually so that we can, walk into the club like we were supposed to be there, right? So we get to the door and there's a drag queen at the door, right? And this is a rite of passage. Anybody in the LGBTQ IA plus whatever community, if you're around my age, you kind of know this, right? So you're young, you're trying to remember your date of birth so that you don't get caught out and turned away at the door because the shame, darling, the shame, right? So we get there, drag queen at the door, looks you up and down like this bitter old queen, date of birth, and you're like, and then you spout something out, hoping that you've remembered it right. Looks at you like as if to say, yes, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure that that is your date of birth, and then says, yeah, go on then. Right? So I'm calling, I don't know why I dedicate that story to the moon and Venus in the sign of Scorpio, the bitter old queens hang out. Anyway, there's a fun story for you about Raf that you probably never heard before. As we come into we've got it all today, right? We've got it all today. So as we come into Saturday and Sunday, Luna passes through the conjunction with Venus, which means that we're likely to have, like, Saturday and Sunday this week come in. The feelings could be a little bit intense, right? There's a lot going on in Libra at this moment in time. There's still the Sun, there's still the Mercury, there's still the South Node all there. Conversations might be taking on a bit of a deep, more meaningful kind of energy or impact. Like, listen, right? Asleep by nine, I'm telling you, this bitter old queen look you up and down like as if you were trash. Which, to be fair, I told you I was feral, so I probably was a little trashy at that point. Um, you're all in the comments, you're calling me out, right? Okay, so I will say Saturday and Sunday are days to really be mindful of the energy. This is time to make sure that you say what you mean and you mean what you say, right? By the time we finish the week, I think we're all going to be in a brand new paradigm of ourselves. And at this point, I think we're going to be really aware of what, when it comes to our personal value system, we're going to be like really clear on what it is that we're dedicated to making happen, what it is that we're ready to be obsessed with once more, and to really go in for what's deeply important for you. This might be a physical change or an appearance change, you're doing a glow up of some sort. It might be a glow up in your business. It might be an overhaul of your finances. It might be a decision that you did like to dedicate yourself to, like, even deeper to something where you say, right, this is my craft and I'm going to work at it. I'm going to be the best that I can possibly be at this thing, right? So it can be a really, really interesting time. I think it could be a really fantastic time for all us. Don't be a bitter old queen. I'm telling you, not me, not me. You know me. I'm too bouncy for that. Jokes aside, though, right? I can just hear it now, like all of you going out into the world after this week and being like, "Yeah, bitter old queen." I don't know. Like, this is what you do, Raf. Look what you've brought into the world. Oh dear. Oh dear. All right. So to take a moment. I just want to remind you that today is the 27th of September. So if you're here right now, or if you're watching this today or over the course of the weekend that follows, you still have a chance to grab one of those spaces for the Work With Me for 3 months program. You're getting astrology, tarot, numerology, you're getting a whole bunch of stuff. You get to work with me. We're going to build you a master plan strategy. On top of that, you're going to, like, I will literally, you'll have monthly check-ins as well. And then on top of that, you literally have me, or what I'm calling Rafi in your pocket, me on WhatsApp, so you can ask me any questions about the things that we've created for you, and you can move forward. All right. So there are currently 3 spaces left. I'm only taking 10 people on this journey because I'm really going in on it and I'm putting a lot of time and effort into these 10 people. And it culminates with a very special gathering right at the end of the year on the 21st of December, where you will get it's a special gathering for those 10 people. So if you're interested, there's a link for that in the description box below. I will put one right here in the comments as well. I did manage to yesterday. Oh, there you go. Oh, no, wrong one. Sorry, my bad. Ignore that. Let me put this one. So there you go. The link is in the description. If you feel like you want to be one of those special 10, go for it. So, to come back to it, this week, so last week I gave you a song. Drop a heart in the comments right now. My new catchphrase took it. You guys are the best, I swear. These hangouts are amazing. I have so much fun. All right, so last week I gave you a song. It was The End of Time by Zara Larsson, right? Because Venus is music and dancing and all of that kind of stuff. This week I've got a bit more because Venus is in Scorpio now. So the song that I give you this week is going to be a lot deeper, right? It's called Roads by Portishead. It's quite an old song at this point, but this week's song for you to listen to if you want to do a little bit of research, a little bit of Venus in Scorpio research. Laurel's done it. Okay, so Laurel listened to Zara Larsson last week. Asleep by Nine listened to Zara Larsson last week. Okay, nice, 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 nice. So this week's song suggestion, Chai Chinya, listen to it. Excellent. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. So for this week's song suggestion, Heidi listened to it as well. Oh my gosh. Okay. Excellent. So this week's song suggestion is Roads by Portishead. All right. Portishead is the name of the band. Check it out. It's deep, it's deliciously dark. And it's just, yeah, it's a good listen. So have a listen. Let me know what you think. So if you are here right now, or if you're watching after the fact, I want you to take a deep breath, come into the present moment, and just breathe with me. And I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help us all on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So I'm going to do the tarot pulls now. And for the first one, the first card, I want you guys to say stop. All right. So I'm going to shuffle and you guys are going to tell me when to stop. So your first card out is the Love Magnet, right? This is really about how to check in with attraction and connection, and also maybe even to open up to or improve the love relationship energy in your life. So when you're ready, okay, stop. And that first card is the Queen of Pentacles. This is really interesting because the first thing that I heard in my head when I saw this card was sometimes the best gift that you can give to somebody else is to make yourself the greatest version of you, right? This card is actually all about self-care. And in order to open up to love and to improve the relationship energy in our lives this week, it's really about improving the relationship with yourself. It's about really getting back to being comfortable or acquainted with your body. What is that going to take, right? Is it about losing weight? Is it about putting on makeup? Is it about buying a new wardrobe? Excuse me. Is it about doing something that makes you feel alive and sexy and all of those things? This is really you being asked to check in with yourself. What do you feel like you need? What self-care can you really put into yourself that's actually going to make you a better partner, right? And so I'll give you an example on this. When we are well rested, we perform better. When we are well hydrated, we are sharper, right? You see what I'm getting at here? So this is like really, what is it that you know that you need to do for yourself that maybe you have neglected in terms of your self-care? Once you do that, once you fulfill that this week, you're actually really going to start showing up even better in your relationship and for your partner. Now, in terms of attraction, the Queen of Pentacles is about increasing the yield. So what this means is if you're partnered, if you're married, if you're in a long-term commitment, this is really about building on that relationship and doing what needs to be done. Doing more of what you know really makes you feel like, connected to your partner, right? Where is it that you can work on the health of the relationship? If you are single and looking, that Queen of Pentacles is saying you got to glow up. And this isn't about just the aesthetic and, oh, if I'm not beautiful, or I don't look a certain way, I can't get a date. This is about getting back into that energy where it's like, you know what? Actually, I feel good about myself because that's what makes us attractive. It's not what we own or what we wear or any of that stuff. It's about how attractive we feel that opens that dialogue and that door. For those of you that are widowed, so widows and widowers, the Queen of Pentacles is showing you where it's time to start building on that foundation. Now that you've had a relationship that you felt was maybe the right one, this may be a time for you to say, okay, you know what, it's time to really look after myself once more. And I've done single, partnered, widowed. I think that's everybody. All right, so number two, card number two. This is about your creative spark, right? So this is creative spark, self-expression, bringing beauty into your life, and also how we use the Venus energy to tap into that inspirational energy and enhance your personal projects. And for this, you've got the Ten of Swords. So let it go, right? I think this card, this is so weird. I swear this card came up last week in one of these positions, which is so crazy to me, right? So what's interesting about this is the Ten of Swords is an ending, right? It's an ending, a completion, a culmination. Venus is moving through the sign of Scorpio. And one of the things that as artists, creatives, anyone that works in the creative sphere, one of the greatest things that we struggle with is this idea of it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. I have to keep doing this and I have to keep refining it. And before you know it, you end up so far away from what the original idea was, or you just never release it at all. So the Ten of Swords here, in terms of our creative spark and energy, this is about closing it down. Once it's done, let it be done so that you can just put it out there into the world. That's what it's about, right? So this is, yeah, it's a really interesting energy. It's funny because Chai says, I think it was the Nine of Swords last week. Yes, I think you're right. So in terms of the harmony booster, creating more harmony, right? Balance and pleasure in our lives, and using this Venus energy to align with or to create more joy and maybe even more abundance in our relationships. And we've got the Six of Wands, right? So that's the message here. We are being invited this week to think about what does victory actually look like to you? Do you even know what the end goal is? Right? Oh, I love that. So Asleep by Nine says, sometimes done is better than perfect. I'm so blatantly stealing that, by the way. I love it. It's just, that's brilliant. It's really, really great. And it's exactly that. The Six of Wands is a victory card. It's about celebrating what we have achieved and acknowledging that the small wins are sometimes just as big, right? Once we keep stacking those small wins, what happens? Right? It's like when let's say you can only save $20 a month. Okay, it's not a great deal of money. But over time, that $20 a month becomes a lot more, right? Over the course of a year, it becomes a lot more than 20. And it's like that accumulative effect. So, really, this week, the best way to tap into the Venusian energy is literally to let go and be, let it be okay. Let it be enough, right? Good is better than perfect, or done is better than perfect, which I love. And then with the Six of Wands, stack those small wins, right? Celebrate the things that you have achieved on a small level. Wait, hang on a sec. There's a hurricane? I've only just seen this. Sorry, I've just been trying to concentrate on the notes. For those of you that are out there right now, if you are experiencing the hurricane, if you're watching this, or if for those of you that know people that do, I truly hope you are okay. I send you lots of love and I'm spelling you safe. All right. Um, so that harmony booster, the Six of Wands, celebrate your wins, celebrate them, right? Stack those small wins this week and be okay with that. Even if it's not necessarily the huge thing or the windfall or whatever that you want. If it's a win and it qualifies. Okay. So I'm going to give these a shuffle once more, and now we're going to do the card pulls for the element groups. So again, you guys here, I would like you to tell me when to stop shuffling. All right, stop. Okay. For the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You guys have the Six of Wands, right? So there you go. If you are a fire sign, that is the greatest message that you have this week, right? Use Venus's energy to celebrate the small wins, to be present for what you're doing on that day-to-day basis, and to know that good, or should I say done, is better than it's like better than to hand in half an essay than hand in no essay at all, right? So this Six of Wands, celebrate your small wins, be focused on them, and also don't be afraid to celebrate this week, right? Whatever it is that shows up, even the challenges, how can you look at them and say, you know what, there is opportunity in this regardless? For the air signs among you, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, you have the Three of Pentacles. The spirit of collaboration this week is really how you get the most out of Venus. And Venus is a connecting influence, connecting people, bringing people together in some way, shape, or form. The other thing with the Three of Pentacles, one of the things that I love about this energy is it gives you a really solid mental and physical fortitude to get stuff done, right? This is where you see a goal in your mind and you literally start carving it out in stone. This is also the Three of Pentacles is a card of learning. So this week, whenever it comes to all of the Venusian areas of your life, what is it that you're learning right now? And how can this education actually be really beneficial for you moving forward? For the water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, you guys are the lucky ones. You've got the Seven of Cups. So, the greatest message this week that Venus is trying to get across to the water signs is Venus is a lady, darling. She likes it easy. She likes it smooth. She likes it, she doesn't like too much on the plate. She's very demure, very cutesy, right? Very mindful. I don't shove my plate full of food like everybody else at the buffet. That's Venus. That's Venus. Venus ain't no bitter old queen, okay? Although, although, right, you got the Seven of Cups. So the message that Venus is trying to give to the water signs is streamline your focus. Take something off of your plate. Don't make it more difficult than it needs to be. And don't invent ideas and stories and scenarios of why this thing can't be perfect or go ahead or be successful. All right? Take something off your plate. And then finally, no bit of queen here. All right, for the earth signs among you, Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo, you have the Fool card. New things, new places, new people, new energies. And Venus is really trying to get you to see where in your life you feel like you're ready to start over. Where is it that you're ready to push that reset button to do something completely different and go in a new direction? Because that's really what's happening here. We're just after, at the end of the week coming, we're literally just after a Venusian eclipse, but Venus is in Scorpio. So this is about a rebirth, a transformation of some sort. And if you are an earth sign, you are ready for that new. Okay? Yes, let's go. So, my dear tribe, it has been a pleasure, an actual pleasure to spend time with you on this Venus day. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of Radiant Reality. Thank you so much for my wonderful members that show up for me Monday through Friday. I love you guys so much. For the whole Radiant Nation, you guys know I love you, which is why I'm bringing you new content, right? That's what this is about. I told you I wasn't just going to desert you. I've spent the last 8 years of my life, and I mean that the last 8 years of my life building this community. I have no intentions of just getting rid of it or just cutting it out. You guys are a huge part of my life. You've been a huge part of me being able to manifest this bloody thing into my life as well. And I am so very grateful for each and every one of you. Have a fantastic weekend. Let me know in the comments how this stuff shows up for you. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. And I also want to say, um, remember, hit the like button, share the video with a friend or a family member that you feel like it speaks to them. Pay attention to what Venus is doing for you over the course of this week. And yeah, get out there, be who you're destined to be. You know Rafi loves you. Take care.